What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to From the Top Rope with Andrew Crawford. I'm your boy Andrew Crawford, not the GOAT, but I look like a GOAT. Close enough, am I right? I think I'm right. And before we get started, I wanted to tell you, you matter. Because lately I've been big on mental health, and I understand that people are not always told that they matter, but you do. Whether a random stranger tells you, a random guy online, or on a YouTube channel, your parent, whoever tells you it's true, you matter, you deserve to be here. And before we get started, two things gotta happen. You gotta like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna take a sip of this Powerade to stay hydrated because health is wealth all 2026. And now, the topic of today's video, if you can't tell because I'm wearing a Randy Orton shirt, Randy Orton vest, Randy Orton. And it's his case for GOAT, where I look at a wrestler's career, I break it down, and at the end, I tell you all whether or not I think he belongs in the GOAT debate. This video was recommended by my good friend Dylan Roark. I've played ball with him. I like to call myself a good friend of his. He is a genuinely good person, and I'm happy to have him in my life. And he's the only one that swapped up on my private story and said this one or the match stipulations, which were two of the three options. But he said he was more curious to hear what I had to say about Randy, so we gonna talk about Randy Orton. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is his longevity, because as a LeBron James fan, anyone that knows me knows longevity plays a huge part in any GOAT debate I'm ever going to have. So, Randy Orton made his WWE debut in April 2002. By August of 2004, he was a world champion, the youngest ever at that, beating Chris Benoit at SummerSlam that year to win the title. Um, and it was honestly only up from there, like from the time he won the world title all the way up to even now. He's been a main event level guy. Like, he has elevated everyone around him. Um, he got a decent match out of Jinder Mahal. Jinder still should have never won the WWE title, but he got a serviceable title match out of him. Um, he elevated Bray Wyatt during their weird feud with the bugs on the ring, and you know, and he's been able to elevate guys like that since he was young in his career. I remember in '05, I feel like on that road to WrestleMania with Batista winning the Rumble and Orton telling him Triple H does not care about you, all he cares about is that world title. I feel like that really, even that little bit helped Batista. In '06, I feel like he really helped Ray, who had been, that No Way Out match is genuinely great. And then in '07, him and Edge with Rated RKO winning the tag titles. '08, amazing year. Had a WWE title triple threat at Mania and retained against Triple H and John Cena. Um, got hurt, came back, formed Legacy. This is where you really learn how good he is at elevating others, because he elevated Kofi Kingston in Legacy. Kofi wasn't a part of Legacy, but he did elevate him. Helped to elevate Punk a little bit. Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, obviously he elevated them. And his Legacy run, it felt like it didn't matter who he was in the ring with. He was elevating them constantly and making them better. Especially that '09 portion of his feud with Cena. They've wrestled so many times, like I had to say what year of a part of their feud. The I Quit match, the Hell in a Cell match, the Bragging Rights Iron Man match. Um, all of it was fantastic. I genuinely think that the '09 portion is the best portion of their feud, if I'm being honest. The SummerSlam match was good. um 2010 breaking away from Legacy. I remember at the Royal Rumble, he did a lot to make sure Sheamus didn't look like an incapable main eventer, because Sheamus was just a rookie with the WWE at that point. He hadn't been wrestling that long with them, and He made sure Sheamus looked good. That triple threat at Mania helped elevate Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, not to the level that Cody would eventually reach, but it did help him a bunch. And that's just the first 8 years of his career, how good he is and how able to elevate people he is. And that continued in 2011, that continued in 2012, and that's continued all the way up to the year 2026. And the thing is, Randy still can go with like the best of them right now. Like Randy can be in the ring with the young guy and still look like he's in his prime, aside from not doing the drop kick much anymore. Which Randy Orton has the best standing drop kick of all time. Bite me if you disagree. Everything Randy's done on the longevity scale is incredible. It's something that should be talked about way more, and I'm gonna talk about it way more, because it deserves to be talked about. Like I said, he is able to elevate anyone. You could have put him in a feud with Hornswoggle, and Hornswoggle would have came out of there looking like the Undertaker. Um, you know, he even like I feel like his '05 feud with the Undertaker, he elevated Taker to an extent, not like made his name more relevant, but like Undertaker stepped it up in the ring with Randy several times, and just having that longevity and being that consistently good for that consistently long is something that has to be mentioned in the GOAT debate for sure. Um, let's talk in-ring ability now. I'm gonna be honest. I have found myself ranking him in the top 10 in-ring. And that is with Eddie, Angle, Benoit, AJ Styles, Edge, Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, whatever you want to name him. Um, Orton, Shawn. I think Triple H is up there, and I think Flair's up there. I think that is my top 10. No, I put Jericho over Flair. Never mind. That is my top 10 in ring. And I think that Randy, everything he does, it looks so smooth. Like, Randy has one of the best power slams ever, the best standing dropkick ever. His clotheslines are mean. He's innovative. He took the diamond cutter, and people don't know it as a diamond cutter anymore. Like, I'm sorry, DDP, but people don't know your move for being your move anymore. It's Randy's move. It is an RKO. Like, it lost the diamond cutter the second Randy started doing it. I'm sorry, man. Um, the punt kick, the draping DDT. Like, Randy has innovated offense. He has made offense look cleaner. And there's some offense that I don't want to see anyone ever do again. Like, I do not think anyone should ever be allowed to do Randy's DDT. Unless they are being a troll to Randy or paying homage. Like, they should not be allowed to do it. That is the Orton DDT. So in ring, just for being able to innovate moves the way he does, that has to deserve some credit. Um, you know, and yeah, he's had his bad matches, obviously. If you can name me one pro wrestler that's never had a bad match, I'll tell you you're a liar. Edge has had bad matches, and he's my GOAT. Orton, Triple H, Flair, Michaels, Bret Hart, Owen, you name it don't matter how good you are bell to bell, you've had a bad match. Or a match that fans didn't like. Let me rephrase that. Because you do the best with what you are given. But Randy's been electric in the ring, and he still looks like he's at the top of his game. Um, let's go into promos. There are not He's not the worst promo ever, and honestly, his promos are the only thing keeping him out of like top 5 range. He's got some really good promos, really good heaters, really good, and he's got some promos that you're just like, I'm sorry, what'd he say? Um, but you know, he's still not the worst talker we've ever seen. He's not the best. He's somewhere in the middle. Like, he's in the upper middle tier. Like, elite level guys like Punk and Rock and Cena and Jericho. Good like Edge, Jeff, Owens, Sami Zayn, Rey Mysterio. Um, that's where Randy falls. Like, they're good on the mic, but they're not perfect, and they've had their promos that you're like, oh, why did you say that way? Um, but Randy does have a pretty fun little catchphrase where he says, I'll catch you with the three most dangerous letters in sports entertainment. And then the fans will either finish it or he'll say it. So that's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun whenever Randy does that. You know, accolades. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'll say it every time I make one of these. Accolades in a scripted sport should carry less weight, but at the same time, I feel like they should also carry more because you're staying relevant enough for them to put a title on you. Um, and Randy's been relevant enough to win titles almost every year he's been active. He won the Intercontinental title in '03, held that until he lost it, and then he went on to win the World title in '04. '05, I think he didn't, I don't recall him holding a title. '06, I don't know. Him and Edge won the tag titles in '06. '07, he won the WWE title. '08, he walked in WWE champion, so he was a champion in '08. '09, he was a champion. 2010, he was at one point a champion, yes. 2011, he was a world champion. 2012, I think he still won gold in 2012. 2013, he won the WWE title with his Money in the Bank cash in. 2014, walked into Mania, the undisputed WWE champion. 2015, I think this is a year I don't recall him winning any gold. Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't recall him winning any gold in 2015. I might be wrong, but I don't recall it. 2016, no, but 2017, right back on track. He won a world title, and the Royal Rumble for the second time because he won it in '09. Like, he's been very relevant in title scenes every year, except for his recent return. And even then, he was in a WWE title match at Rumble 2024, and then at WrestleMania 40, he was in a U.S. title triple threat banger with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. So Randy is always going to be floating in the title scene. Like, even right now, he's in the Elimination Chamber. Winner gets a shot at Drew McIntyre for the WWE title at Mania. So Randy's always kind of been floating in title scenes, whether it was singles or tag, main event or mid card. He's always been floating around that level. Um, and here's the crazy thing, like I said, Randy still looks like he could be at his very best. Like, his match with Aleister Black the other night on SmackDown was really good. Um, like, his stuff since he's been back has been great. Um, he's been better on the mic than he's ever been since he's been back, I feel like. He's been great with, his title match at the Rumble in 2024. He was probably the best part of that match, and that's in a match with Roman, AJ, and LA Knight. He's been elite at everything. Um, just genuinely for 24 years, like I said, to be this good for this long is ridiculous. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that we will ever see a professional wrestler be this good for this long and have this little injury history. Like, he's had a few injuries, but they've all been so major it feels like he's kind of injury prone, but he's not. Like, back, rotator cuff, like major level injuries. So for him to be able to just do what he does consistently and be elite consistently and have this little past of, he's got some injuries under his belt, sure, but every time he comes back from injury, he looks just as good, if not better than he did before the injury. And I think that's doubly true with the broken collarbone in '08. He left, lost the title to Triple H, had the rematch, lost, got his collarbone fixed up, and when he came back, he looked better than ever. He came back from his back injury and looked great. Every time Randy comes back from an injury, he looks just as good as he did, if not better than he left. And that is a testament to him. So Randy is genuinely, I'm going to say, fantastic. Like, I do not think there's much of anything you can hold against this man. His entrance is through the roof, especially now that the crowd serenades him every time he comes out. His aura, if you will, immaculate. Like, this man demands a reaction. Whether he comes out of nowhere with an RKO, or whether he makes his entrance, the full-on voices, I genuinely think Randy is inarguably, because I don't think that there's an argument against it, top 10 all time. I don't think there's a way you can drag Randy out of the top 10. I don't think there's a way you can do it and sound sane. Unless you are a strict old head, I don't think it's possible. So yeah, let's hit the conclusion. In conclusion, obviously Randy Orton's in the GOAT debate. You know, like I said, his longevity in ring, charisma, entrance, accolades are all elite level, and the only thing that's like a little bit less than elite are his promo skills. And even then, he's definitely not bad, and he can always hold his own with the Cenas, the Punks, and the just best talkers ever. And so, when it comes to Randy, obviously he's in the GOAT debate. Like I said, I do not think you can have him outside your top 10 and it be logical. Like, I don't think that's possible. And I think the same way about the other 4 or 5 videos I've made on his case for GOAT. 6. So this is the 7th episode. I don't think you can put AJ Styles outside your top 10 and it sound normal and it sound credible and you not sound insane. I obviously think that with Edge, Taker, Austin, and Cena, because that's my Mount Rushmore. I think that with Jericho. Like, I think all the guys I've named are top 10, and I think you'd be crazy to exclude any of them. And the crazy thing is, people probably think I'm crazy for all these guys being in my top 10. But I don't care. Like, that's the thing about wrestling. It's nothing but opinions. You find a guy you like, you stick with him. And it's that easy. And Randy is one of my guys. I love Randy. He is a part of my favorite era of pro wrestling. He is a main staple of it. He is one of the best all time, all around. And I think it would be genuinely impossible to not put him in the GOAT debate. And that's the video. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I've been Andrew Crawford. Stay tuned for our next His Case for GOAT episode where we'll be talking about the straight edge savior, the voice of the voiceless, the best in the world, CM Punk. But until then, unlike John Cena, I can see you and I will see you very soon. And remember, you matter.